Okay, so on this problem, we're going to do grouping. There are 4 terms, but the grouping's a little bit different this time. Normally, we draw the dotted line and we get out, pull out the greatest common factors. And you might think, oh, that's going to work for this problem, but it's not going to. So what we have to do is we need to group it a little bit differently. We're going to take the x squared, the plus 8x, and the plus 16, and then we're going to put the minus 25a squared over here. Now, how will you know to do that? Well, you could try your normal grouping procedure, and when it didn't work, then you'd have to say, oh, I got to think of something else. Okay, so these don't happen a lot, but I do want to go through the problem just so you can see it. All right, this trinomial, that's actually a perfect square trinomial. It actually factors. You can come up with 2 numbers that multiply to be 16 and add to be 8. 4 and 4, right? Okay. So it factors into x plus 4 times x plus 4. Now, normally, we'd be happy enough to have that. We have we have factored that trinomial, but the whole overall operation is still subtraction, so it's not factored at this point. You have stuff minus stuff. Okay, I'm going to rewrite my stuff, x plus 4 squared, right? We said we could do that. Okay, so now I have this, x plus 4 squared minus 25a squared. Well, that's the difference of squares. Difference of 2 squares. So for the difference of 2 squares, we're looking for something squared minus something squared. And then that's going to factor into a plus b times a minus b. That's the formula for the difference of squares, difference of 2 squares. Okay, so what's the a? The a is the x plus 4. What's the b? Well, you know what? I'm going to rewrite it underneath. So I have x plus 4 squared. So there's my a. Minus, now what's 25a squared? That is 5a squared. So there's my b right there. Okay? So I'm going to write a plus b, a plus b, a, x plus 4. I'm going to put in some brackets because maybe that'll make it easier for you to see. Okay, so there's my a and there's my b. And now I'm going to have a minus b. Ah, I said b, but I meant to write a. Oops. Ah, that was confusing. Okay, you can multiply it all out and everything. We can write this just a little bit cleaner. We don't need the brackets, actually. So we can write x plus 4 plus 5a times x plus 4 minus 5a. Now, I wasn't going to multiply this out to show you. This is the answer. But I think I will, because I don't know that we've ever done a trinomial times a trinomial. But you would take x times each of them. So you'd have x squared plus 4x minus 5ax. And then you'd take 4 times each of them. 4x plus 16 minus 20a. So I'm doing this and this. I already did those. Too many arches going there. And then finally I'd have to take the 5a times x. So that'd be 5ax. I'm running out of room. 5a times 4, which is 20a. And then 5a times the negative 5a, which would be negative 25a squared. Now when I add those all together, these are going to cancel out. Those are going to cancel out. I'm going to have the x squared, the 4x here and the 4x there. That's going to make the 8x. And then there's the 16. And then finally there's the minus 25a squared, which is what we had to begin with. It just was rearranged a little bit differently. So that's the check. And I don't know that you're going to see that type of problem very often, but that's the way it works.